What's going on? So I'm making a video about why would you go on a plant-based diet, and I've been back on one for 60 days. I've already lost 35 pounds. I walked 12 miles last night. I'm back on track. It took me a whole year to get back on track. But why would I do it? And for me, it's mostly about my health. And I've always struggled with my weight. This is a picture of me from like 10 years ago. Got to back up a little bit. I weighed 330 pounds, and what I've done to lose weight, because I'm an expert at losing weight, because I've done it so many times, is that I would out exercise my diet. I would start walking 1 mile, 2 miles, 3 miles, 4 miles, and then I start jogging 1 mile, 2 miles, 3 miles, 4 miles, and what happens is when you're doing all that work, you don't want to ruin it, so you start eating better. I think your body even starts to crave good food, and you lose all the weight. But here's what happens: your life shows up, you tire out. Mainly, you after you reach your goals, you need a break. And I don't know about you, breaks don't work for me. Well, it's so hard for me to think that you can go back and forth is the biggest myth that you could ever create in your mind. Uh, if you could control your eating or control what you do, you would have done that before you gained 300 pounds, right? Ugh, why would it take me this long to figure that out? Because I'm stubborn. So in November 2016, after losing 100 pounds a couple times, I'm back up to 300. There's a picture of me in November of 2016, and I'm miserable. Matter of fact, I pretty much know I'm dying, and I don't think there's anything I can do. I've tried so hard, just like this time, to get back on track, and I just can't do it. And my thought is I'm just going to let this play out. And if I die, I die. And I really was ready. But then my grandchildren came to live with me, and that changed everything. And I had to give it one more shot. And I started out just trying to out exercise my diet, and I didn't have that kind. I was over 50, and I didn't have that kind of energy. So I have done all the fad diets, every low carb fad diet you can imagine, and that's what they all are. And I lost weight on them, but they never felt healthy. I could just feel the grease because I do everything to the extreme. I could feel the grease in my fingertips, and it just never felt healthy. And you're not going to do that forever either. You got to find something that you're so passionate about that you will stick with. And so I started. What I tried to do was a calorie in, calorie out diet. It made the most sense to me. And right away, what I learned is that, and I found the wonderful wealth of vegetables. I knew about vegetables. I've never really hated vegetables, but I never knew that they didn't have any calories. And there's 38 foods that hardly have any calories. Apples, arugula, asparagus, beets, broccoli, broth, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, carrots, cauliflower, celery, chard, clementines, cucumbers, fennel, garlic, grapefruit, iceberg lettuce, Jamaica, kale, that's a vegetable by the way, lemons, limes, white mushrooms, onions, peppers, papaya, radishes, romaine lettuce, rutabaga, strawberries, spinach, and it goes on and on and on. Watermelon, watercress, zucchini, turnips, tomatoes, sugar snap peas, diet beverages basically, herbs and spices. So what's the common theme other than diet soda maybe? Vegetables and fruits. So I find the wonderful world of vegetables, and I really start following the two-third, one-third principle without even having any idea what that is. Um, and I started losing weight so fast, I start worrying it's not healthy. So I Google it, and if you Google, hey, is vegetables healthy for you? Just vegetables, basically, or almost all vegetables. Here's what you're gonna find. You're gonna find something with forks over knives, you know. So I find that I find out the videos on Netflix, And I watched the video, and I watched it 100 times. When I used to walk and run, I would just listen to that video continuously to just ingrain that into my mind, because the very first time I watched it, I knew, oh, I found it. I found something that I can stick with and understand and do, and it's not easy. It's so hard. It's so hard, especially in the beginning. Um, I think it's important to know, and a lot of people will tell you, like anything else, you don't have to do it all at once. And I didn't do it all at once. Uh, and I lost 100 pounds by April of 2017. And what happened to me then is that I was in a car accident, and and I couldn't exercise, and that really, really was the beginning of me getting knocked off my square. And but I still stayed on the plant-based diet. I was that passionate about it, and I lost 20 more pounds. Here's a picture of the car. Uh, Got rear-ended and couldn't run for sure. Walked, it would hurt. It was very painful. And like the night before it happened, I jogged 7 miles, and not being able to do the exercise at the pace I was really affected me. And then so I lost 20 more pounds, and so in July of 2017, this is a picture of me right here. That's me on the right. I was 180 pounds. And what happened is that I went off the rails that day. And a big reason is that just a few days after that, my mom passed away. Here's a picture of my beautiful mother. Not too long before she passed away. She had lung cancer. She did not suffer. She went a lot. She did go shopping 4 days before she died. And one of the last things she did, the day before she went into hospice for the last time, she bragged she had fallen and was bleeding, and a nurse came over, and she bragged to the nurse that her son had lost 160 pounds. It was actually 120, but you know how that goes. My mom was very proud of me, and I didn't handle it well, and I gained all the weight back. And for every day, here's a picture of me after I gained the weight back, and how miserable I look. Look how miserable I look. And every day for a year, I tried to. I'd start every Monday, and I'd like 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, sometimes even 2 weeks. But I just couldn't keep it going. And so June of this year, I'm watching the St. Louis Blues, right? I'm watching the St. Louis Blues hockey team, and they're about ready to win the Stanley Cup. And in the middle of all that, I get turned on to this YouTube guy. His name is The Hockey Guy. And if you like hockey, find him. And you go like his videos. They're real simple, and they're real easy to follow. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do that for this plant-based weight loss thing. I'm going to make some videos. I think that'll help me stay accountable. I've used the internet before to stay accountable. And I try to use, the embarrassment if I don't keep going, and against my pride and ego, and try to use my character defects in a positive way. Whatever it takes, baby, right? Whatever it takes. So I've been doing this for 60 days again. I've already lost 35 pounds. I walked 12 miles yesterday, and I'm plant-based. That's a very important distinction. I'm not vegan. You know what I'm saying? Because I have a million friends, and I have family, and they're not plant-based, and they're really not looking to be plant-based. And when I'm with them, I can't force them to be plant-based. So if I'm with them and we're at a place that has no good options, I just do the best I can. Plus, I run a business. I run a trucking terminal here in St. Louis, and I'm real busy. And, sometimes I don't have time to cook. I can't cook every meal. So I eat a lot of Thai food. I eat at a place called Crazy Bowls a lot. If I'm with the kids and we're going to the movies, it's very, very possible that I might even have to get an Impossible Burger. I don't want you to think I do that all the time, because I do not. But in a pinch, I will. And that's why I call myself on a relaxed plant-based diet. Because I tell you this, I've had friends who did try to plant-based are really vegan, and sometimes it's too hard. And if you get so far on the other side of something, uh, there's nowhere to go, and that's what happens with exercise too. Uh, you got to be careful. You only can run so much, and being 53 and all that, it's even different. And if I know that it's possible that I might have to relax my principles in a situation where I might be the example for others, even, then maybe it won't affect me so much that I just go totally off the rails. And it's worked so far. But do I understand what I'm not vegan? But do I admire vegans? Absolutely. Do I understand what it means? Yes. Do I agree with them? Yeah, I do. Because when you Google plant-based, you're gonna run up against all kinds of vegan stuff, and one thing you're gonna learn about is how animals are treated and stuff like that, and it's undeniable. And once you see it, you can't unsee it, and it's just crazy how they're treated, and that's why you see all this stuff, grazing and GMO and biotic free and all that stuff, antibiotic free and all that stuff. But this is how they're treated. Those are pigs, man. They're all like that, and that's how they live, man. That's crazy. You know what I mean? That's not living. You know, if anybody should understand that, it's people like us. There's some poultry. Just crazy, just crazy. You know what I mean? We think of a cow out in the pasture and and stuff like that. We never think about how it really is, and we don't want to. And it's obvious why we don't want to. You know, because it's disgusting. This is how these animals are treated, and they're tortured and all kinds of other stuff. And I don't want to talk a long time about it. It's just the way it is, and it's horrible. And I hope I never eat another piece of meat again. That's the way I really want to be. And then you start talking about the environment, and there was just a study that just came out that says that 1 pound of ground beef equals 55 cars because of stuff like this. It takes 2,500 gallons of water for one pound of ground beef. It takes 55 square feet of rainforest for 1 pound of ground beef. It takes 16 pounds of grain, for 1 pound of ground beef. It creates 80 kilograms of CO2 for 1 pound of ground beef. It makes no sense. I understand. I ate meat my whole life. I think we got to be careful though. If we are so extreme and we get so crazy upset every time we see somebody eat a piece of meat, we chase all the people away that we want to attract. And if we just stopped eating 50% of the meat we eat now, it would save so many animals and help the environment so much. 30%, 20% would help a great deal. Sure, we all should do a lot of things, that we don't do, and nobody's perfect. And I understand I'm not 100%er, and I'm 100% okay with that, because that's what I feel like I have to do to not start and stop, to make this a lifestyle. You know what I mean? Is maybe I've heard Dr. Krieger say this too. In a pinch, in a certain situation, who knows? But overall, I'm so grateful I know about this. I'm so grateful that I'm back on track. Thank you, God. Because this is a spiritual journey. Being plant-based is a spiritual journey. Because it's about feeling good and doing good and helping others and the whole 9 yards. So this is a YouTube video, so please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video. Please make your comments. Argue with me. discussion, stuff like that. Thank you.